Hi friends, hi family. Hi any YouTube friends. Thanks for subscribing to my vlog. This is just a quick video for the singles page. I'd mentioned that I'd add a video. I could add this to the vlog on YouTube, or I could just post it in the group. It's not pointing any fingers or directions or locations anywhere. It's just a quick video about, I thought it would be like a nice video from somebody that's actually in your city that has 36 years experience so far, that exists in 2025. You may have cherished loved ones who were really good to you and taught you really good values. That makes love and connection a lot easier for you. But this video is about soulmates. If you're Googling things, or if you spend a lot of time on YouTube, or if you're a Zodiac fan, or you're on Struggle Street, or you're quite content and you don't mind taking other people in, I guess. It's just not everyone you'll live with or end up with after you've met your first spouse. You might just know somebody who's single that complains a lot. It could be anything. So I just wanted to make a first-hand video of somebody that lives in your city that's worked quite a lot in the last 5 years as a community support, in a community support role, working in the entire of Canterbury. I'll be really careful because I need to be. It doesn't mention anyone that I know. It just will be a quick reframe on what I think soulmates means. I've done a little bit of life coaching. I went in for half a diploma in life coaching and counselling a few years back, and then I did like a health and well-being, a few certificates there in my work experience. Also have a bit of horticultural experience with seasonal fruits and veggies and harvesting and growing my own garden. I have lots of hospitality and cooking experience from my jobs as well, and a little bit of computing and data entry, keeping track of like dispatch numbers and stuff. A little bit of manual handling on vehicles. Just like kind of like fun and girly and practical, and then very, very like critical emergency stuff. So I've had like a few different roles, and they've all been in the city, and I've always lived here, except I had 1 year where I lived in Timaru for part of my childhood. We lived in a large house next to the church. We had a swimming pool and a park next door, and it was a very, very nice house. Both of my parents must have been working at the time. I'm not actually too sure. I was a kid. I don't remember. I just went to school and that was it. So, soulmates. This is a very practical reference point for people, because I know that when you're Googling things and you're looking at websites and you're single, if you're completely single and you're like a normal, logical person that's got no baggage and no ties, or you're just really easygoing and you've got a good value system going for you and you've even got kids, and you're still able to support people in some way, even if it's just saying hello or adding a positive comment. You may not be able to date that person, or you may not be able to be fully there for everyone. But if you are legitimately couch surfing or single or out there in the world somewhere and you are real, my experience and advice with soulmates, also bearing in mind that I have taken additional classes for relationships and soulmates for women, done very intense sort of modern day vortex, like inner work for women with an Australian life coach, other than the separate counseling that I was and life coaching that I was studying. So I also took an online class with a life coach, and I spent 16k or 20k. Was like a lot of savings that I had. It was really serious, guys. I had a lot of people saying that it was a scam, but then I had a lot of women online saying that they were part of the group, so it's still hard to tell for sure whether it was a scam or not, because I never actually met the women, but we did talk to each other online. So I've still got no proof, because you guys see WhatsApp people posting on singles pages all the time, and it's usually always a scam, or it's like website bait, and you never know what it's about. But you can trust me, I'm from Christchurch and I shouldn't even be sharing myself. It makes my friends probably get really uncomfortable. My family probably gets really uncomfortable with me spending time on the internet. But I just wanted to go over soulmates briefly. So I always believe that when you meet random strangers, or you find people that are really loving in the community or in your family, or you find people in your life that you love, that's what I would consider being like a soulmate. Maybe you've got like someone in your life that like stood out to you, like a grandparent who's passed away, and you feel like your grandparents might have been soulmates, or there was a TV show or a movie that you watched and you felt like they portrayed a really positive version of love. That could be what soulmates are. If you want to create your own love story with a soulmate, that is totally possible. I think that if you find a person that agrees with you on everything in life, or makes life work for you together, then you can basically call yourself soulmates if you feel like it. You can say to your friends, I feel like I have met my soulmate. I don't want to make a huge deal out of it. Some people would be obvious they're soulmates because you'll see them on social media, or you'll know them in real life, and you'll be like, yeah, you guys have a special vibe where I feel like you guys act like soulmates because you treat each other nicely, and you're really content and happy. And that's the basics of your agreement. You don't even have an agreement. You don't make it into a logistical argument or a business diploma. That's not what soulmates are like. It's like the purity of your connection is like the foundation of your love and your soulmate vibe. So if you're not sure what that is, you may meet like other couples, or your best friend may have a partner that they value, and you're like, it seems like that is a soulmate relationship, because they ended up getting married. They didn't mind publicizing it by adding it to their Facebook profile. They had courage to be a couple, and courage and strength to commit to each other publicly. Some soulmates might choose to be reclusive, and you'll never even know they exist. And sometimes that's good for some people. I think knowing that there's so many quality people and relationships actually functioning out there can be quite upsetting for some people. But honestly, guys, I'm single, and I have been single for 6 years. And I still stand by singles who don't want anything because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to seem like they're being creepy. They don't want to seem like they're being desperate or pushy or needy or like they have issues. So anyone can be a soulmate. I definitely wouldn't put people that are strangers on that list, but you could create your own. This is for advice for men and women, but women, I think, can like sometimes write really creative lists, because they're the only ones that are thinking about actual relationships. You could say, I noticed there was a friend that I had in primary school or high school or growing up in my neighborhood, or I had a family member who had a specific attitude or quality about them. They were a really nice person, but they also were really good at a particular skill set or a job that they had to do, or they were just really hilarious, or they were just really like, every time you felt down, they just made you feel better somehow. So those are the things that people remember when they grow up and start looking for their soulmates. They tend to write a list if they haven't just met their soulmate in school. Like if you go to high school and you meet your soulmate, you just pick your boyfriend in high school and that's your soulmate, then that's like absolutely perfect. You don't have to make all these big fussy lists and stuff, and all of a sudden all the girls online are coming across as like really fussy, but they're actually not. They're just like really frantic, and they're like, oh, I can't remember all those qualities that I liked about my childhood friends, or about people that I met when I lived in Timaru, or whatever it was. Maybe I should put that on my list, and then I'll like naturally meet people that act like that or do that for a job, or they like the same hobbies, or they don't mind that I have this thing about me or whatever it is. So yeah, soulmates do exist. It's not a big deal. It's actually quite a normal thing. And I think a lot of people get really upset because they think that it's a stressful thing. They think there's rules when there's no rules. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with anything crazy or anything like that. I know that I could have already been married with a child by now if I had more information. Like, I never actually, we moved around a lot. We had a like 35 to 40 different houses that we lived in growing up, so more than my actual age. So I had a really like tornado of an existence, so it was really hard for me to get any idea of what like kind of qualities I was supposed to be looking for as an adult. So unfortunately, I've been single for a really long time now, and even though I've done the program, I still haven't been approached by my soulmate. If he exists, I still haven't, committed to anyone. Just to be respectful, I have no ring on my finger. Like I'm not secretly married or anything. People always say life is really short, so you should just be open and honest. That's why a lot of the posts don't get approved on the singles page. But there you go. There's my take on soulmates. I hope that makes sense. Ka kite, and thanks for watching. Bye.